today's video, we're going to answer the question of whether or not AirTabs, these little triangular, whatever plastic things, if put on your RV, bus, truck, whatever, will they help handling? Will they help mileage? What have been my experiences with them? Stay tuned. If you've been driving down the highway, you've probably seen a vehicle at some point, most likely a semi-truck, that has these little things on them, and you may have been wondering what they are. These are called AirTabs, and there are several knockoffs, but what they basically are a vortex generator or an airflow device. The claim from AirTab company is that they will both improve stability and improve fuel economy. So how is this supposed to work? Let's go to the whiteboard and I'll explain. Okay, so I've drawn just a little representation of the bus here, which if you look at it, you know, any Class A RV is going to be, or any bus in general, is going to be about the least aerodynamic thing that you can find. It's just a box, and if you look at any rules of aerodynamics, this pretty much violates all of them. You've just got a flat front, you've got a flat back, you don't have anything that is supposed to help try to make the air flow in any kind of a nice way. And even when you take a look at new ones, they don't really do a whole lot with them. They've improved them a bit. So what AirTabs are supposed to address is really the airflow around the back. So I've drawn them on here, but what you end up having without the AirTabs is air comes across, and then when it reaches the back, it ends up creating these big vortices, and this is very turbulent air back here, and that causes the back end to move around quite a bit. That's what causes a lot of the handling irregularities or undesirable features. And so what the AirTabs do, I'm only drawing the top here just because it makes it easier, but when the air comes and starts to hit the AirTabs, it kicks it further away, and I'm exaggerating here, but then the idea is that it rejoins somewhere back behind the bus. And the fact that it rejoins back here as opposed to swirling around over here is supposed to make it a much smoother airflow, and that's where you get the extra stability from. When you look at these things, the concept behind how they work is valid, and they're a really simple device that does exactly what they're supposed to. So once you think about how these things are supposed to work, it actually makes a whole lot of sense, and they're easy to install. I wouldn't call them cheap for what they are, but the company did have research and development that went into how to design these things and how to try to make them the most optimal, and that's really what you're paying for more than the actual product itself. It is important that you install them in this manner, because if you look closely, you'll see that the air is supposed to come, get funneled in to this triangle, gets pushed together, and then it gets pushed out away from the vehicle, and that's what helps to reduce the vortexes in the back. So you do need to install them this way. A lot of people, when they first see them, think that this is actually installed backwards. It's not. This is the right way to do it. As far as placement goes, you're going to be limited on where you place them by the design of your vehicle that you're putting them on. I was kind of limited by this seam here, which is where my RV goes from having the main construction of it to this fiberglass back panel. So you'll have to figure out the best that you can do with it. It doesn't have to be super specific or precise. The real point is that you're going to get a benefit by putting these on versus not. So what are the benefits that I've noticed? Stability absolutely improved, and that was really what I was going for, and that's really, when you look at it, the prime benefit that AirTab claims. So if you think about driving down a 2-lane road, especially with something like one of these RVs that the suspension designs on them are really not all that great, passing a semi-truck going the other direction, what it used to do, it used to blow the bus all over. If you were up somewhat close behind a semi-truck and drafting or kind of drafting, that got really uncomfortable really quickly just because of how much it would move the bus around. That has basically completely gone away with the AirTabs, and that is, for that reason alone, I'd say it's absolutely worth the cost to put them on, because you will spend way more than that on any kind of a suspension upgrade that still probably won't work as well in the end. Fuel economy. I have not really noticed what I could consider a fuel economy improvement. I've been doing a lot of other tweaks to the bus around the same time, so can't really say whether or not there was anything else that may have been happening. Maybe this would improve it. But if you look at the AirTab website, what they're really claiming with a fuel economy benefit is that because your vehicle is more stable and not moving around so much, that's how they say you're going to get better fuel economy. There probably is some truth to that, and there probably is a benefit to it. For the number of miles that you drive an RV typically versus a semi where you're driving hundreds of thousands of miles in a much shorter period of time, and any little bit of a fuel economy gain you'll really notice. It may have helped a few tenths, but not enough to really be anything that I can tell one trip to the next. So would I buy them again? Absolutely. Do I recommend them? Absolutely. If you are not feeling like you have any kind of stability issues, then maybe you won't see a benefit. But especially on something like this Freightliner XC chassis, which is really not the best design out there, they've made a huge difference. So I hope you found this useful and interesting. Leave any questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.